my dad got this farm about 9 years ago. When he got this farm, I said, we are doing farm stuff. So we had pigs, we had turkeys, we did bees, we have a big garden. And another thing that we did was we put in some hop plants too.
This is a Michigan success story in every way. If you stop and think about it, what they're doing here is true entrepreneurship. They're relatively young being in this business, looking at a new market, and it's wonderful to have hops become a bigger and bigger growth industry in Michigan. We're number 4 in the country, but it's still small, and it's still growing, and what they're doing is taking things and then they're doing value-added processing to take it the next step, and then selling across Michigan to go with these microbreweries.
Can you mention some of the breweries that you sell your hops to?
Yeah, absolutely. We work with Ellison.
So what's interesting about the hop market in general is because there's so many breweries in the United States right now, and hops are an agricultural product, so supply and demand, the demand is much higher than the supply. And so for us as a new brewery, not established anywhere, didn't know anyone on the west side of the country, in California or Oregon, you can't get a contract. For us to get a contract, Michigan was our first and almost our only choice. And it really worked out because I'd known Sean for a little while, didn't really know the extent of his farm and what he was really doing out there, but he had a contract for us. And for us, for peace of mind, signed it. And it was like, check it off my list of stuff I have to get done to make beer. And he's making 3 varieties of hops: Cascade, Chinook, and Centennial. And they're great hops. They work really well on our IPAs. And eventually the Michigan market will achieve some of those other flavor profiles that you will get in the west side of the country.
When you think about Michigan agriculture, the second most diverse in the nation, behind California, 300 commercial commodities, and hops is one of those. One of those that's a higher value crop that can provide an income for a family. And then you look at, the product side of it and the growing craft brewery and the craft brewery industry. It's good to have people that want to supply Michigan ingredients for a Michigan product. And with hops, that whole kind of virtuous cycle of the ingredient, the processing, and the product, that makes Michigan agriculture stronger, and that makes the communities that have the hops farms, the communities that drink the beer, are stronger because of that. And you want to see that in agriculture. That's how you grow, is adding that processing and that consumer component.
As Michigan farmers, work directly with the brewers, and it creates a much better relationship. It ensures they're getting a top quality product because it's not something that's sat around in a warehouse for a year or so, and they're getting fresh stuff right out of the field. So they're working right with the people that grow the stuff. We're working right with the people that brew the stuff. So it's a very good relationship, and so I think it's important to a lot of brewers, and it's becoming important to a lot more.